Almost everybody stands, walks and sits in a way that's causing them pain, and they don't even realise that they're doing it. In this video, I will share with you posture habits that you are doing that is causing your pain. And once you see it, you'll be able to change it and start to ease the pain that you're experiencing. So hello, my name is Catherine, and I support people to free themselves from pain so that they can move pain-free every day. So let's get started. So in my last two videos, we started to create space in the body with the fascia decompression. We then inflated that space with the diaphragmatic breath. And in this video, we're going to maintain that space with correct posture and alignment. All three steps are needed in order to get lasting change. If you've not seen my last two videos, there should be links on my screen now for you to check those out. So let's start with the feet. Now the feet should be facing forward. So when you are standing, when you are sitting, the feet should be facing forward. If you notice what you're doing right now, are your feet facing out to the side? Are they facing inwards? When you're walking, are your feet facing forward when you're walking, or do they turn out or do they turn inwards? So it's just noticing what your feet are doing. The feet are then driving the rest of the body. So if you're not walking with your feet facing forward, this is going to be pulling the rest of the body out of alignment. So we need to try and remember to bring our feet forward. Now it might be when you're sitting, standing, walking, you're not able to do that. And that is because the fascia is locking you out of alignment. And that's when you go back to step one, to decompress that fascia, to release that restriction, using that diaphragmatic breath to inflate the space. And then when you are standing, sitting and walking, you will remind yourself to get those feet facing forward to maintain the space that you've just created. So as we move up the leg, the knees should also be facing forward. So when we look down and look at our knees, the knee should be in line with the second toe. So we don't want the kneecaps facing outwards or inwards. Again, you may not be able to just change this. It is just bringing awareness to the way that your posture is. So looking at your knees, we need to be then again decompressing the fascia with step one, inflating that space with step two, and then maintaining it with checking each time we're walking, sitting, standing, which way our knees are facing. We also want to make sure that we don't lock the knees. So when we're standing, if we hyperextend and lock the knees backwards, this tilts the pelvis, and this is putting us then in incorrect alignment. So always have a slight bend in the knee. So not a massive bend where we're completely bending, but just a slight bend. So if you lock your knees out and then relax them slightly, that's how it should be. So we've got our feet facing forward, we've got our knees facing forward, and we've got that slight bend in our knee. We then want to think about how far apart is our feet. So we want to have them hip distance apart. So we don't want them shoulder distance, and our hips are internal where our hip bones are. That's where the distance of our feet should be. So we shouldn't be having a wide stance. They should be quite close together. So feet facing forward, hip distance apart, knees facing forward, that slight bend in the knee. And we want to have about 60% of our weight in our heels and about 40% of our weight in the widest part of the foot. When we have this distribution of weight, we are now then not tipping forward. Most people have about 80% in the heels and can be tipping backwards or tipping forward and haven't got that neutral alignment. A great way to do this is to connect to the root. So when we squeeze the anus, which is connecting to the root, it automatically shifts our centre of gravity and helps us find where we should be standing. And then we start working our way up to the top of the body. So the arms, we want the shoulders back and down. We want the palms facing forward. That's anatomically correct. Now, most people will have the arms either the palms facing the back of the body or the palms facing the side of the body. If you can't get the hands because it feels too awkward at first, the palms facing forward, just aim for the side of the body. And then over time, if you can even feel it in yourself when you turn your palms facing forward, how it opens up the shoulders and creates that space in this area. If you've got your hands facing the back of the body, you may not be able, again, to change it so that your palms are facing the side of the body or your palms are facing forward. And this will be taking us back to step one, which is decompressing that fascia, releasing those restrictions that have locked us out of alignment, using that diaphragmatic breath. And then every time you're standing, sitting, walking, just remember to have those hands with the palms facing to the sides or facing forward. Then we want to try and get our neck and our head in line with our shoulders. We don't want that head protruding forward. When our head is not in alignment, it puts strain on our neck, causing pain. Again, you may not be able to just bring your head back into alignment because it may be locked forward. And this is where decompressing the fascia comes in again. But it's just imagining you've got an imaginary hook at the back of your head, imaginary headrest, and you want to have that head in alignment with the shoulders. So let's just recap. We've got our feet facing forward, we've got our knees facing forward, we've got our knees with a slight bend, we've got our legs about hip distance apart, we've got about 60% of our weight in our heels, 40% on the widest part of the foot. We then will connect to the root to help us to get that balance. We then want to have our shoulders back and down with our palms facing forward if we can, if not the side of the body, and we want our head and neck in alignment with our shoulders. Now we want to make sure that when we are standing, walking and sitting, we just bring awareness to our posture. We won't be able to change these habits all the time because we've been used to slumping in a chair, slumping at a desk, shifting our weight to one side, sitting cross-legged. It takes time to change these habits. But once you can see that these posture habits are causing you the pain, it helps you to remember, right, let's sit with, when I'm sitting down at my legs with a 90 degrees. So we don't want to be tucking our feet underneath the chair that we're sitting on. We want that legs out at 90 degrees and in alignment as well. Now, if you can place a book or a block therapy block or a towel in between your legs, that can help you to maintain that posture. Also, if you can place something at the back of your body as well on a seat, you can keep your body upright, and when it falls you realise, oh, I've collapsed again. So it's little prompts like this that can help you when you're sitting at a desk to help you bring back awareness to your posture. So why does posture matter for pain? So if we're not aware of the posture that we hold, this is then not helping us to stay out of pain. So if we decompress the fascia and we release the restrictions from our body, we inflate the space with the diaphragmatic breath, and then we go back to the habits that we potentially not even realise that we're doing, we will then get our body back into that negative alignment. So it'll just be this cycle. So we need to break that pattern of the way that we are holding ourselves and shifting our weight to different sides, not standing correctly, not sitting correctly, in order to support the fascia. Because the fascia will then, again, its job is to keep us upright. So if we are decompressing the fascia and then we keep slouching to one side, we keep slumping and collapsing into the ribs, even though we're opening up the chest, we're opening up the core, we're just going to get locked back into that alignment. So by bringing this awareness, we help to reduce the pain that we're feeling, and long-lasting results will come from doing these three things: decompressing the fascia, inflating the space with the breath, and being aware of that posture and maintaining that space with the correct alignment. Just start by noticing. So when you are walking, when you're sitting at a desk, when you're cooking, when you're just in the evenings relaxing, just notice how you sit, how you stand, and then bring awareness to what your body should be doing, how it should be alignment. And at first this can be really painful. I can remember when I first was brought back to the attention that my posture needed to change and I was trying to sit upright. It felt really difficult. It felt impossible. I was exhausted trying to hold my body up because I had just been slumped and sat like this. So I'd just been locked in this rounded posture. So to then try and sit straight, it was just a lot of effort. So I just used to try and do it at certain times of the day. And now I would say that it's not always naturally for me to sit straight, but it's more than it was, and it's getting better and better. I still don't have perfect posture. I'm still working on releasing the fascia from all the years that I've locked me out of alignment, the years I haven't been sitting properly, the years I haven't been standing properly. But with that awareness that I have now, I can then, all the work I'm doing with the fascia decompression, when I'm standing and sitting, I can try and get myself into that correct alignment. And then over time, as I keep releasing the fascia, keep inflating the space with the breath and keep maintaining that space with the posture, it'll get easier and easier to be able to stand and sit in that alignment that supports my body. So now you have these 3 steps which will help you get out of pain. We need to decompress the fascia with either a rolled up towel or the block therapy block. We need to inflate that space with the diaphragmatic breath, and we need to maintain that space with the correct posture. This is what we do in the online block therapy classes that I hold. In these classes, we decompress the fascia from the whole of the body. We focus on the diaphragmatic breath in every single position. I guide you through the breathing so that you can inflate that space, send the blood and oxygen to the area and melt away those restrictions. And then we talk about the posture. We talk about how we should be standing. We feel into our body, how it's feeling before and after positions, so that we can get an idea of the changes that we're making to the body. If you're interested in joining an online class, there's a link in my description. I'd love to see you there. And thank you so much for joining me today. And don't forget to subscribe when you know when my next video comes out.